Okay, as it seemed a shame to only use some of those great slides that I made once, I thought I'd recycle them here for a bit of an easy summary of some of the things that we've covered in this course. First, we refreshed our knowledge of the DevOps stack, which represents the steps required to deliver a piece of software to production, right from getting a server to a customer-ready product. To quickly clarify to those of you that might be wondering, I've bundled build and deploy together because they both deal with the code of a product itself, and I like to split the stack based on what aspect of the underlying process is being dealt with. It's for the same reason that provision gets 2 stack levels, because one is for the server and one is for the operating system. We could just as easily split this into 5, and in fact you'll often see things like this drawn in a rather showy infinity wheel with all sorts of extra bits like monitoring in it. There are loads of different ways one could reasonably draw this diagram, it's just illustrating a concept. This chapter has dealt with the first 2 aspects of this diagram, that of the server itself and of the operating system. And of course, to do this, we chose to use Terraform from HashiCorp. We've chosen Terraform because it's an industry leader, because it's cloud agnostic, by which I mean it can be used on multiple different providers, but primarily because it delivers to us our 3 guiding principles of DevOps. It's version controlled, it's automated, and it's idempotent. As you'll probably remember, doing things manually is none of these things, but Terraform ticks all 3 boxes, at least if we store the code in Git it does anyway. We clarified this new concept of idempotency as an operation that returns the same result every time, no matter what the starting state, such as in this example with the command make the glass half full, which hopefully you could see as we went through all the examples in this chapter was also the case with everything that Terraform does. It is idempotent at all times and cannot be anything else. Rather than doing anything like adding 1, Terraform always aims for a specific state. Once we got into the thick of things, we got heavy use out of our 4 golden commands: init, plan, apply, and destroy. As I mentioned, there's quite a lot of other useful Terraform commands, and I can especially recommend looking at the workspace command for a bit of fun, but these are the only 4 you need to know for core Terraform usage. Everything else can be picked up comfortably along the way at whatever job you land, but you're not likely to fail an interview because you don't know the details of Terraform Taint or Terraform Graph. If I get a lot of interest in this chapter, I'll definitely go and make a Terraform Advanced chapter where I cover all of those things though. I went into more than one rant about the importance of running a plan in professional work before ever running an apply, and we also covered the usefulness of test environments as a way to prevent damaging work from being applied to production. Finally then, we slowly built up this diagram, the beauty of which only increased as complexity rendered it ever more meaningless. Still though, it gave us a map to follow, and we defined the bits of it as follows. Provider connects Terraform to our chosen cloud provider. Resources then define what we want to spin up. Variables define the variable names we can use, and if we like, we can give them a type too. TFRs are then used to populate those variables, though we did also cover some other methods to do this too. Backends allow us to store our TF state in the cloud for versionability and security, but mainly so we can work with other team members on projects. Outputs let us export values to the state with our own custom labels, and data allows us to bring those values back into other root modules, and also to bring in data from other external sources. Finally, child modules allow us to make reusable packets of resources and settings. So that's it. If you managed to watch all the way through and you got something out of this course, then that's awesome. If you want to get in touch with me about any of it to suggest improvements or for a chat, I'm always really happy to hear from you, and I'll try and reply to as much as I can. There's a contact page on the main website. If you've got questions, do just get in touch. I can't always answer all of them, but I'll do my absolute best to get back to you if I can. Okay then, for those of you looking to do the entire course, let's move on to the next chapter, where I start looking at Ansible, one of the best configuration tools and the jewel in the crown of any DevOps CV. Hopefully see you there.